Peace, everyone. I'm back again for another about Noah this time and what the Quran says about it. We spoke about Jesus the last time, and I guess I just want to transition into Noah, who is the first of seven major examples that are in the Quran and repeated over and over throughout the Quran. He is the first in the line of seven examples, which include Hud, Saleh, Abraham, Lot, Shoaib, Moses, and the first is Noah. I think I got all seven of them. So, who is Noah? Noah is a messenger of God. He came from Adam, like all of us have come. And when Noah came, all that generation from Adam to Noah was wiped out at the end of that messenger's stay on earth. And that story is clear in the Torah and the Bible and the Quran. And Noah spent 950 years on the earth. There are many discussions and disputes about what those years are, but fundamentally, it's his 950 years that he spent on the earth. And that's what the Torah says, that's what the Bible says, and that's what the Quran says. So I 100% believe that he lived for 950 years. And before that, if you look in the Torah and the Bible, you can see the ages of people from Adam down to Noah, and they all lived to up to 900,000 years. So, this evolution theory that everybody buys into today is a bunch of hogwash. There's no truth to that. Man has devolved. He has certainly not evolved from when he came upon the earth. And Noah, after Noah, there's just been the progeny of Noah. So everybody was wiped out except Noah and his progeny, the children that he bore with his spouse or women or however that happened. So that's Noah. Let's see what the Quran says about Noah. So, first of all, Noah was one of the highest chosen of God. God chose Adam, Noah, family of Abraham, and family of Imran above the knowing, all the knowing of mankind. They are the highest of them. So Adam and Noah and the family of Abraham includes Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, and the family of Imran is Mary and Jesus. So, these are the ones that were chosen by God above everyone else. So, whoever comes and says that they have some special choosing above these people, they're just a bunch of liars, yeah? So, let's go to what else the Quran says about Noah. So, this is one example. There's quite a few. I'll go through a few of them and then you guys can continue reading if you download the book, or you can get some picture of what the Quran actually says about Noah. So Noah came to his people. He said, "O my people, serve God, not to you from God other than him. Surely I fear over you punishment of a day great." And the chiefs responded, "Surely we too are seeing you in a strainous glare." That's what they do to every messenger. Whoever comes with something that is telling them to do other than what they are, that's what they will say. He responds, "O my people, not with me is straightness, but surely I am messenger from Lord of the knowing. I deliver you messages of my Lord, and I sincere to you, and I know from God what not you know. Or you wonder that comes to you reminder from your Lord over a man from you, to his warning you, and to your fearing, and maybe you be mercied. But they falsified him. So we saved him and those with him in the ships, and we drowned those who falsified with our signs. Surely they were people blind." So this is the first example. It comes in chapter 7, I believe. Yeah, it's chapter 7. So this is the first example of what happened with Noah. Simple, he came, he told them, they rejected him, they were drowned, and the biggest dispute I would be told about is that I write ships here. And everybody believes that there was one ship. In the Quran, the way I read it, the word fulk, which is this word here, is a masculine word. And as it's referred to as a it or them, it refers to as them in the Quran when it talks about the people who were saved with Noah. So I mean, I may be wrong. It doesn't change the overall story that he was saved and his followers and all those that rode with him, including the animals that rode in the ships. So let's look at another example of Noah. He said, "Surely I to you a warner clear, that don't you serve except God. Surely I fear over you punishment of a day grievous." Then the same example telling him, "Not we see you except a conscious being, our example, and not we see you following you except those, they are old ones. After the sight, and not we see to you over us from grace, but we surely think you falsifiers." So he's like, they're being told, obviously, they're falsifiers. Any messenger that comes, or any person who comes to dispute what the vast majority of mankind believes, is a nut job normally. Yeah? So this is how they're reacting. Those He wasn't the king in the land of the ruler. The chiefs were the rulers. He came just like other messengers and told the rulers that, you guys are following strainers. Follow this guidance that comes to me. And they turn back and tell him, sorry, you people have no grace, and we're in charge. He said, "Oh, my people, do you see if I be over clarity from my Lord and brought me mercy from within him, but blind over you? Are we to mandate it? And you are to it haters." So fundamentally, the messenger doesn't care. He just tells them, "I don't care. I mean, if I'm brought the mercy and you're blind over it, we're not going to mandate it. You can do what you want. You can hate us. You can hate what we bring." And he continues, "And O my people, not I ask you over it wealth, if my reward except over God, and not I with pushing away those who believe. Surely they will meet their Lord. But surely I see you people, you ignorant. And O my people, who he will help me from God if I push them away? Will but not you remember?" So he's telling them that I can't push away the believers, whatever their characters are, whatever they're doing, as long as they believe and they do not go against the righteousness which is commanded, the common sense righteousness, which we all know, but we turn away from. I can't push them away. And then he says, "And not I say to you with me treasures of God, and not I know the unseen, and not I say surely I an angel, and not I say to those you make lowly your eyes, not he will bring them God better. God aware with what in their souls, surely I then to be from the wrongdoer." So he's telling them that, I don't have the wealth, I'm not an angel, and I'm not going to tell you the guys you think are lowly, God is not going to make them rich or better sustenance or get better for them in their lives. It's not in the power of the messenger. They said, responding, "O Noah, have you disputed us but much disputed us. So come to us with what you promise us, if you be from the truthful." He said, "Surely what he will bring to you with it God, if wishes, and not you are escaping. And not will it benefit you my sincerity, if I intend that I sincere to you, if is God he wanting that he make you astray. He your Lord, and to him you will return." So, this is what happened with Noah, and it happens with every messenger. So he came, he told them that, follow me. I'm the warner, I'm the messenger of God. I come to you with what not you know. And they're fundamentally rejecting him outright and calling him mad, has total in a strainers, has no grace over them. The messengers are not supposed to come and be rulers on the earth, nor are they supposed to be rich, nor poor, nor ugly, nor beautiful, nor fat, nor thin, nor tall, nor short, nor black, nor white, nor yellow, nor brown. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's a man. God chooses the man he wants to make a messenger, and that's it. They have no choice in it. Then they have to do what God tells them. So they've rejected him, and he says that, whatever I do to you to make you believe is not going to work. And if God wants to make you astray, and God obviously did not want them to believe for their transgression and rejecting his message and his messengers. So then God inspires to Noah, surely it not will they believe from your people except one who has believed. But don't you surely lose hope with what they're doing, and build the ships with our eyes and our inspiration. And don't you address me in those who wrong, surely they to be drowned. So he built the ships, and they laughed over him when the chiefs passed, and he said, if you laugh from us, but surely we will laugh from you like what you laugh. But soon you will know, one, it comes to him punishment. It humiliates him, and it allowed over him punishment constant. So now Noah is getting like kind of pissed, yeah, at these people. He's been there for God knows how long, centuries. In the Torah and the Bible, it's referenced that he spent 600 years before the flood came, and I mean, we can't wait days and months and years. And this guy had to wait hundreds of years. So you can understand what his thought process is at this point. So then, when the command came, God said, load in them from all two pairs too, and will be destroyed except one, sent over him the saying, and one who believes. So then, as they rode in the ships, Noah said, ride in them with name of God, they flow, and they sit. Surely my Lord to be forgiving, merciful. So they're flowing with the waves, and his son is not with him. He's in farness, is one of the rejectors. And he said to his son, oh, my son, ride with us, and don't you be with the rejectors. And his son responds, soon I will secure to a mountain. It will stop me from the fluid. He said, no stopping the day from command of God, except one mercied. And then he was drowned, and obviously he's in hell. And then, after all the command was finished, it was said to the earth, drink in your fluid, and the heavens shorten and take away the fluid. And the command was finished, and they sat over the Judy. Judy, I don't know what this is. They say it's some mountain, but wherever they were, it was some place called Judy, which I don't know where it is. And was said, away to the people, the wrongdoers. And then after that, Noah says to God, my Lord, surely my son from my keepers, and surely your promise the truth, and you judge of the judges. And God responds, and of course, here he's trying to get forgiveness for his son who drowned and is in the fire. He said, O Noah, surely he not from your keepers, surely his deeds other than righteous. So don't you ask me what not to you with it knowledge. Surely I instruct you that you be from the ignorant. And obviously, God's telling him, he's already told him, don't address me in the ones who have wronged, they will be drowned. And that was what came to fruition. His son drowned, he was a rejecter. And Noah is getting a little tongue lashing from God here. And then Noah says, my Lord, surely I seek refuge with you, that I ask you what not to me with that knowledge. And except you forgive to me and you mercy me, I will be from the losers. So after that was said, O Noah, get down with peace from us and blessings over you and over people from those with you. And people soon we will sustain them. Then it will touch them from us punishment grievous. These from news of the unseen we inspire them to you. Not you were you knowing them, you and not your people from before this. So wait, surely the end to the pious. So this is a fundamental story of Noah, and there's much more in the Quran. I'll try and go through some more. But at the big picture, God is giving an idea that this is what happens, and this is what's going to happen every time. As we will go through the other examples, that the messenger will come, he'll be rejected, and the people will be destroyed. So what happens in this case? God is giving the example of the son, a rejecter, Noah's son, and Noah trying to get him his forgiveness, and God's telling him, sorry, and you cannot get forgiveness for who is a rejecter. He's not from your keepers. He can be your son, but he's not going to be forgiven. So what we have to understand is that no matter how close you are to the messenger or to a believer, you stand on your own faith, on your own deeds. You cannot stand on someone else's deeds. You cannot rely on your dad or your brother or your mother or your friend or your daughter, whoever, to save you from your deeds and your faith. So, Noah's son, you cannot protect your son. Abraham's father, he could not protect him. In the Bible, the story has been modified, but in the Quran later on, you will see the father is going to hell, the father of Abraham. And similarly, Noah's woman, she will be also explained that she is going to go to hell. And also Lot's woman, which is clearly explained in the Torah and the Bible as well. So this is how God works. It's you on your own faith. There's no one who's going to come and help you. You have to help yourself and strive to believe or reject or doubt. And in the end, whatever you strive for, you will be rewarded for. So here it starts with this is chapter 26. Falsified people of Noah the messengers, behold, said to them their brother Noah, will not you fear? Surely I to you a messenger secure. But fear God and obey me, and not I ask over it from reward, if my reward accept over Lord of the knowing, but fear God and obey me. They said, do we believe to you and follow you the old ones? He said, and not my knowledge with what they're doing. If their account accept over my Lord, if you perceive, and not I with pushing away the believers, if I accept a warner clear. They said, if not you stop, O Noah, to your surely being from the stone. He said, my Lord, surely my people falsify me, but open between me and between them opening, and save me and those with me from the believers. So we saved him and those with him in the ships, the loaded. Then we drowned afterwards the leftovers. Surely in that to be signs, and not are most of them believers. And surely your Lord to be he the mighty, the merciful. So again, a same story in a different slant, telling us what happened with Noah and his people. Let's see where Noah is spoken of as lived for 950 years in the Quran. I'll show you that here. So it says, I think this is chapter 29. Yep, it is. So, and already we sent Noah to his people, but tarried in them 1,000 years, except 50 years, but grabbed them the storm and their wrongdoers. So clearly the Quran is saying he spent 950 years on the earth. So, uh, I mean, understand the fact that most of us don't get past 80. So we're talking about someone who lived about 12 times longer than the normal man. The average, not even the average, probably 80 is on the high side, lives today. And we talk about evolution, that man has gotten better. Man has not gotten better. Man has is of less intellect. His senses work less efficiently now than they used to at the time of the old people. And they were taller, they were stronger, they had technology, and their subsistence was at least 10 times better than ours. And the remnants are on the earth. Noah's remnants, obviously, there's nothing left, it was all wiped out. But the remnants of the other generations are on the earth, which they can't explain even today how that happened, how they created all those things, not even the pyramids. You know, all over the earth, you see these pyramids. How was this created with, caveman technology, as they tell us? Yeah, it is something we have to wonder about and ask questions to the people who teach us all this stuff. So here's the example of the wife. So God strikes example to those who reject, woman of Noah and woman of Lot. They were both under two servants from our servants, two righteous, but they both betrayed them both, but not itself sufficient over them both from God a thing, and was said, enter both the fire with the entering. So they're in the fire as well. You know, you'll ask, where is the fire? It's under our feet fundamentally, if you want to know. Right now, it'll come up later with the will of God. So now here's a chapter, which is chapter called by the name Noah. So this is another example of the frustration of Noah. So God sent him to warn his people before they get punished. He said, "Oh my people, surely I to you a warner clear that serve God and fear him and obey me. He will forgive to you from your crimes, and he will delay you to a term fixed. Surely term of God when comes, not he delays, if you were you knowing." He said, my Lord, surely I called my people night and day. So this is after all his calling, all the years, God knows how long. He says to God that I've called them night and day. It doesn't add them my calling except running. And surely all of what I call them to you are forgiving to them. They make their fingertips in their ears, and they cover their clothes, and they're strict, and they're arrogantly arrogant. Then surely I call them openly. Then surely I announce to them, and I insist to them, insisting. So, he's just being like, he's groveling, literally. He's beseeching God to help him. And it continues. You can read this. And he tells them, ask forgiveness of God. He's going to forgive you. Your Lord will forgive you. He will send over you the heaven abundantly. Don't you see? He adds you with wealth and sons, makes you gardens, and makes you rivers. Why aren't you expecting God heavily, and created you in steps? Don't you see how He created God? 7 heavens staged. Yeah, there are 7 heavens above us. We are under the lowest one. And made the moons in them light, and made the suns lamps. And God grows you from the earth growing, then He will return you in her, and He will take you out, taking out. So, all these things he says, and of course, you got to see this, that we are going to live in the earth, and we will return in her here, and we will be taken out from her. So, we are grown from the earth, we will return into her, and we will be taken out the day we are all judged. So then, after all this saying, he says, "My Lord, surely they disobey me, and they follow those, not they add one his wealth, and his sons accept loss. And they plot a plot great, and they say, don't you surely leave your gods, and don't you surely leave Wadda, and not Suwa, and not Yahusa, and Yauka, and Nasra." So they are the gods of that time. Like today you have your gods on the earth, which are ruling the earth today, and you call them your leaders and all that stuff. But in your eyes and your hearts, they're your gods. There are no gods on earth, there's only one God. And have they made astray many? And don't you add the wrongdoers except astrainers? So now Noah is basically cursing them. He's telling God, don't add them except astrainers for their follies and their rejection. And from what they faltered, they were drowned, but they entered fire, but not they found to themselves from other than God helpers. And said Noah, "My Lord, don't you leave over the earth from the rejectors a home. Surely you, if you leave them, they will make astray your servants, and not will they bear except wicked rejectors. My Lord, forgive to me and to my 2 parents, and to any who enters my home believing, and to the believing men and the believing women. And don't you add the wrongdoers except destruction." So, this is the curse of Noah on mankind, fundamentally. He said, don't leave even a single home standing on the earth of the rejectors. So, whatever people say that these messengers are all merciful and they would never say utter a wrong word to anyone, if the Quran is telling us the truth, which I 100% believe, the messengers, once they go over a line, they just keep cursing. The believers and the messengers, when they know who they are, where they stand in the eyes of God, and what they're doing with truth and purity, they curse left, right, and center. I mean, I already showed you David, Jesus, every messenger comes, and in the end, he says, "Do what you want. Let's see what happens once you kill me, or once you make your judgment over me and turn away. See what happens to you." And it always happens. The destruction comes to the people. Whether they can get to kill the messenger or not is of no import to God. We are all going to die. And if they are killed by the rejectors of God, no believer actually dies. He lives on in the unseen. He's sustained in the unseen. They are not dead. They are alive in the unseen. We just don't perceive them. And this is also a story for most people, but it is the truth. And that's what the book says. It clearly says that. And I 100% believe that. There is a hereafter, there is a life after this death. And this life is but a joke. So that is fundamentally what Noah's story is in the Quran, and that was the first major example. They loaded every two pair two in the ships, and God wiped out everything. And how did He wipe out? By flooding the earth. I mean, with our understanding of the earth as a ball and nothing above us, it's hard to understand how the earth was flooded. But there are doors in the heaven, and there are springs of the earth. God opened the doors of the heaven, and He made the springs of the earth flow until the water reached to the point that was decided, and everything was drowned and destroyed except those that were with Noah, and they rode in the ships and were saved, and the whole of mankind was delivered from that destruction, and then the next generation came. And people in the world today who are Christians say that God made the covenant with Noah that there will be no other destruction after this, like this punishment. And that's another lie. There is another big punishment coming. Whenever it comes, it will be seen by those on the earth, whoever is alive then, when smoke will come from the heaven and cover all of mankind. That is the punishment that we are waiting for right now from God. And when that comes, we will see what happens. It's clearly talked about in chapter 44. I can give you a quick overview of that. So, this is the smoke, is the title of the chapter. And so, no God except He gives life and He gives death. Your Lord and Lord of your fathers the first. But they in doubt they playing, but comes close a day she will bring the heaven with smoke clear. It will cover the mankind, this a punishment grievous. Our Lord cleanse over us the punishment, surely we believe. Surely to them the reminders, and has come to them a messenger clear. Then they turn over him and they say, taught mad. Surely we will cleanse the punishment a little. Surely you will transgress. A day we grasp the grasping, the great. Surely we will avenge. So already we tried people of Pharaoh and came to the messenger on. So this continues with the story of Moses. But this is what's going to happen. When that punishment comes, everybody's going to cry out to God to save them, but there will be no saving at that time. And the messenger will be here telling them of the punishment that is coming, the smoke. I mean, it will come. There is no doubt in it. And they will cleanse the punishment a little. This time it won't be like after Noah when things got back to normal and the earth has been replenished. It will not be replenished after that. And we are being told that we will transgress even after this punishment is cleansed a little. And then the end will come, the hour. And that day everybody will be grasped and they will be avenged by God. God is not a tiny little critter who quivers at the thought of destroying us. Yeah. I mean, he can wipe us out in an instant, and it was not a big deal for him. And he just continues creating and destroying and creating and destroying and creating new things and destroying those things and recreating and whatever. I mean, it's up to him. He does whatever he wants. We are just one of his creation. Man is just one of God's creations. He's created much before us, and certainly the heavens and the earths are far greater than our creation. But most people think that, mankind is some special, super creation of God that God cannot do without somehow. What a joke. Anyway, so that's a little bit about Noah, and next time I will speak of the next guys that came after Noah, who most people have no clue about. They're called Hud and Saleh in the Quran, and they were the messengers spoken of in the Quran between the time of Noah and Abraham, and their generations were all destroyed, but their remnants are certainly still on the earth, and we can speak a little about that and how to figure out who those people really were. Anyway, so I'll see you guys next time if wishes God, and peace to all.